video is an industry, but really it's a big chunk of different services that go into other industries. So first of all, you have entertainment, and there's a surprisingly large amount of entertainment that doesn't happen at the large, massive Hollywood studio level. First of all, we have production houses and studios, local teams that are making slightly smaller content. I got hired by a director-producer couple that was making a reality TV show. They made a reality TV show that was good enough that when they pitched it to Magnolia Network, the Magnolia Network took it, and so their reality TV show is getting distributed on Discovery Plus. There are a lot of independent filmmakers who are writing and producing their own stuff. A lot of directors want to edit their own stuff, but some directors need help. A lot of times because they have too much on their plate. I have a friend who is a director and producer and made a documentary years ago, and it's been sitting on his hard drives gathering dust. And he wants to make it, but he's way too busy. And he's spending all of his time right now producing for another company because he wants the cash. So he hired me a couple of different times to sit down and story direct for him, to look at all the footage and come up with what this documentary could potentially be. And then he paid me to do a bunch of assistant editing and reorganize all the footage so that it would be more understandable. He's just a guy working for a local ad agency, but he has a project that he really cares about. And he has enough money to pay me to work on it for him. This kind of niche filmmaking goes even further. With the advent of crowdsourcing sites and the ability to self-publish work, both by reasonable rates with DVD manufacturers and writers, but also obviously the internet and self-distribution there, it's very, very possible to collect a niche audience of a few thousand people who pay just enough for regular films from you. I just met a guy a few weeks ago, and he makes 2 horror films a year. He produces these horror films in less than 3 weeks for a budget of less than $5,000 per film. They are purposefully cheesy and look crappy because he has a niche audience of a few thousand people globally that love to collect his cheesy bad horror films on DVD and VHS. He has a deal with a distributor that always makes sells on his films. So his distributor, who knows him personally by name, calls him up every couple of months, asks how the next project is coming along. He sends him a new project once or twice a year. That gets manufactured and distributed, and he makes, apparently, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year doing this. His specific business model is purposefully so scrappy that he can edit himself, but he could very easily take even more of the workload off of himself by hiring an editor. There's a lot of people like that with surprisingly effective business models that are on a fairly small scale where there's just enough space for an editor to fit in. So that's a taste of the entertainment that's realistic for you to get into. Not to mention, of course, a lot of stuff that you can do for free, for fun. Student films, 48-hour film festivals and challenges, producing stuff for yourself on your own, jumping on other people's stuff. There's a lot of art being made in colleges for student films and for local film festivals and national film festivals and 48-hour film festivals. There's a lot of people making fun, cool art and experimenting. Another really big niche in this kind of entertainment side of video is sort of the mid-level distributors. There's a surprising number of smaller streaming services and television networks that make a lot of money and have the money for big teams of people, even though they might be catering locally or they might be catering to a specific niche audience. So most of my bigger gigs have come from a production house, a producer, or a director that had a deal with a distributor for a show that they were making, and they needed to expand their capacity to produce the show quickly. Networks and distribution companies have holes that they need to fill in their lineup. So they partner with filmmakers or production companies that make cool stuff. The filmmaker or the production company proposes their idea to the network, and if it fits with what the network is trying to do, or if it fills a hole that the streaming service or the distributor is trying to fill, then they'll take on your show. And now you have to produce 12 episodes, a full season of a show. And they have to be delivered to the network by a certain date, Contractually, you are obligated to now do this. So you need to use some of your production money to make it happen. So what are you going to do? You're going to hire specialists to help you get this done faster and to a higher quality. So that's where you, the editor, come in. You come in and you say, I have some specialty in editing. I can move your project forward faster to a higher standard. Now, the other side of this is the marketing side. Every company that is out there, pretty much at this point, needs video content. Business-to-business services usually need some sales videos to help them convince these big businesses to make purchases. They need explainer videos to help the businesses that they are trying to sell to understand their sometimes very complicated service structures. Business to client, business to customer, business to consumer obviously needs even more video work. They need marketing material. They need to show up on social media. They need their own explainer videos. I mean, I feel like at this point, I really don't even need to explain why video is so crucial to every single company and organization out there right now. So there's a corporate company world of so much video production to be had. And there's a whole marketing side where specialized marketers like ad agencies and consultants then help make even better productions. So there is a very real world where you can get hired on by any number of startups or corporate organizations in their marketing department to help edit their marketing content. There will obviously be a chief marketing officer, and they will have hired a creative director, and they will have hired a producer. And so you will be under that chain of command. And the creative director and the producer will be coming up with all kinds of stuff to make. They'll be sourcing that footage. And then they'll need someone to edit together into video, and that's where you come in. They'll gather testimonials of customers who have loved the product, and you'll edit those down into consumable, easy to digest social media videos. They will use their video team to shoot product photography and videography, or to shoot internal commercials, and someone will need to edit those. You could get hired on with the ad agency, in which case you would be editing commercials for a bunch of different clients, all in the name of this specific ad agency. And then, you can go even more corporate, where there's talking head training videos where the executives are talking to their whole staff. I mean, we haven't even touched on the whole world of large chain restaurants and other massive corporations that employ thousands of people, and all of the video trainings that they need done. Like, yes, boring, but also pays the bills, and maybe not boring, actually, depending on the problem solving that you have to do, and depending on the level of production value that you can do. Maybe editing training videos is the perfect way to hone your skills in making really beautiful graphics, really beautiful visuals, nailing your idea of pacing. The point is, there's so many different needs for video that it's hard to accurately summarize all of them. There's just so many opportunities. Every human that is affluent and has any degree of money wants to capture moments in their lives. Almost everybody wants a wedding video, videos of their kids graduating high school, videos of their birthdays, videos of their parties. Musicians need music videos, need social media videos to market themselves. And of course, influencers, vloggers, TikTokers, YouTubers, there's so much money in making online entertainment, even when the online entertainment is free for the viewer to watch because of ad revenue from places like TikTok and YouTube. I have been an avid viewer of YouTube, and it is astonishing the level, just the sheer volume. Tens of thousands of content creators making ridiculous amounts of money. Enough money to sustain not just their own livelihoods, but to pay full teams, large production teams, to help them make their content regularly. Getting hired on as a YouTuber to be their full-time editor is a very, very real and reasonable career, and it can pay pretty well. In a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is that video is incredibly flexible and robust. Almost every person needs video at some point. Every company needs video at some point. Video is so flexible. It's so robust. It can be almost anything. It's a tool that helps everyone. It's very much its own thing, and it requires specific skills, but also it can be anything. So there is a huge spider web of people and opportunities out there. And all you have to do is figure out the kind of editing that you like doing. And then find the person that needs that kind of editing. Now, when you first start out, you're going to need to experiment a little bit, right? Take some gigs at a reduced rate, explore a little bit, try out different kinds of clients and different kinds of projects. But I really do think you can have a specialty and know what that is and offer that, and you'll find the clients for it.